Our next speaker is Antoinette Gregero. Antoinette?
Hi, my name is Antoinette Gregero. I'm with Open Circle Families Fighting for Justice and with the Oakland Livable Wage Assembly. I'm here to talk about $15 an hour. But I'd like to tell you a story about my brother. Are you listening? My brother Mark died a little over a month ago. He was 47 years old. Mark worked for McDonald's for a good part of 30 years, making only pennies over minimum wage. Are you hearing me? Yeah? Good. Over the years, Mark shared some of his experiences with me, and I'm going to recount them to you now. Unable to afford healthy food he subsisted on discounted, not free, but discounted food at McDonald's. It wasn't long before he developed diabetes. Over the 15 years as a full-time worker, he was not able to afford housing and was forced to live in his car for long periods of time. In recent years, as a full-time worker with no medical insurance or paid medical leave, his health declined rapidly. My brother became blind, yet he had no choice but to keep working. He worked full shifts without having time to sit. He developed diabetic ulcers on his feet that needed to be treated. The doctors gave orders to make certain accommodations for his health limitations. And please hear me now, McDonald's refused to comply. Still, Mark could not simply leave his job to seek extensive treatment which he needed, or he would again be homeless. His doctor said he should not work near the heat. They had him working at the grills. He was not supposed to go up and down stairs. McDonald's said, go up and down the stairs or you will lose your job. Mark could not simply leave this job. He had to keep working despite these circumstances. Even though his shift manager, and as a shift manager, he handled the administrative tasks, they kept his shift so understaffed that he was forced to move quickly on his feet, switching between all stations. When he addressed this to his manager, they cut his hours in half. Mark was homeless again, living in his broken down car. McDonald's declined paying Mark a livable wage and provide better work-life conditions. Mark's story goes on. 2 years ago, Mark developed more diabetic ulcers on his feet, which became so severe he had to undergo emergency surgery. They amputated toes. McDonald's stole my brother's toes. Capitalism stole my brother's toes. He still had to work. Last year, Mark became homeless again because he could not afford the subsidized housing. Mark died working as many hours as McDonald's would give him. Blind, so sick he was about to go on dialysis, and homeless. How many amputations will it take? How many lives will it take? Are we willing to fight for workers' rights? I can't hear you. Mark's experience highlights only a fraction of the consequences of subsistent wages, which is why we all need to be working towards making $15 an hour now. But that's not all. With this in mind, OWA, the Oakland Livable Wage Assembly, who fights for a livable wage and better work-life conditions, has created an initiative for 2020. That is $20 an hour by 2020. This initiative would make Oakland #1 with the highest minimum wage in the country again. Work is already underway and many signatures have been gathered, but we still need help. Petition signature gathering, working with and through the Oakland Justice Coalition, which is doing regular activities that we participate in. I know we're in San Francisco, but raising the minimum wage in Oakland leads to progress in all cities, including San Francisco. Please see me if you're interested in engaging in any way possible to fight for 20 in 2020. Please do it in memory of my brother Mark. Please do it on all who work at subsistent wages. And please do it for yourself, because everyone deserves a livable wage.
One quick announcement before we leave this gathering. I want to make sure everyone realizes that you are invited to come back to the hall and enjoy some barbecue. So please, please make yourself available to the food that we have prepared for you. One quick announcement. There will be a mayday bike strike, a critical mass to demand fair treatment for couriers. It will take place at 5 o'clock p.m. at 1 Market Street, San Francisco. I have brother,
Don't forget Bob Price, the striker, and Kathy from Puerto Rico.
okay.
A striker, Bob Price.
Where's Bob Price?
Right here.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that to Bob, because they want us to get out of here because the thing is over at 2 o'clock. So are you both going to be speaking on the same subject?
No, we were both listed as speakers, both of us, and Marcus said.
Okay, they didn't have her listed.
I called her.
All right. But you are the list, Bob.
All right, thank you, everyone. The ILWU has provided a fine example of unions fighting for social justice and broader demands for our community and our people. At AFT 2121, we are the faculty union at City College of San Francisco. How many of you have gone to City College? Are there City College people out there? I mean, a large number of San Franciscans have gone to City College. We just participated in a one-day strike this past Wednesday, and we felt we had to do that to keep quality, low-cost, accessible education and higher education in San Francisco for all people who live here. So we had to stop our administration, who wants to cut classes in the next 5 years by 26% from what they are now. We have to demand a decent living wage for faculty in San Francisco so we can keep the quality that City College has provided over all the years. So I encourage you to keep supporting people at City College. Our fight, though, goes beyond just what I just mentioned. It's really a fight back against the privatization that has happened to education and other public services that's being fought. You know, the post office is going through it. In education, we're going through it. And then to all public workers, they've tried to stop us with the Friedrichs case. I mean, you probably all know about the Friedrichs case. The Supreme Court tied on it right now, but they're going to bring it up again. So people need to be ready for an onslaught nationally on unions and the ability of unions to organize and to collect fees from their members. So I encourage you to get involved. As unionists and working class people, we must continue to organize strikes to fight like we did here today, to provide all the basic services for everyone: healthcare, housing, food, and education for all. I'm also here, besides being in my union, I'm with the Freedom Socialist Party, and I'm encouraged by all the talk I heard about, you know, the need for a better system and revolution. I mean, if you really believe in socialism, I think it's important to vote for someone who's a real socialist. And to me, that's not someone who's running with the Democratic Party like Bernie Sanders. So thank you all for coming. Happy May Day.
Our last speaker, officially this time, and I'm sorry, Kathy, will be Kathy Rodriguez from the Puerto Rican Teachers Federation. Kathy.
Hi. My name is Kathy. I am an elementary teacher in Oakland and an Oakland Education Association member. But today I speak as a proud former member of la Federación de Maestros de Puerto Rico, or Federation of Teachers of Puerto Rico. My comrades from Puerto Rico salute you and stand in solidarity with the International Longshore and Warehouse Union in commemorating May Day, denouncing racism and exposing corporate greed. Your struggle is our struggle too. The workers' struggle is one. We congratulate you for your brave actions in commemorating this historical day. Your demands for economic justice, quality education for all as a human right, and health care for all resonate with our fight in Puerto Rico. The Federation of Teachers of Puerto Rico has been fighting battle after battle to keep public education free and accessible to all, while strengthening our union against attacks from the government. We have been boycotting standardized tests, defending schools from shutdowns, and resisting privatization. The attacks on us have been relentless and brutal, but we won't surrender. As many of you know, Puerto Rico is going through one of the worst economic crises ever. Neoliberal measurements have been taking place, including an alteration to the Constitution to prioritize debt payments to the bondholders over basic social services, and the imposition of austerity measurements in order to balance the budget. Bill H.R. 4900 is an attempt to impose an unelected junta of 5 people appointed from Washington, which will restructure the economy of Puerto Rico in order to achieve this objective. As usual, hospitals, schools, public employees will be the worst affected, and wealth will be redistributed to the already wealthy. If this bill passes, we will lose the little autonomy that we have fought for. It is a perfect example of raw economic colonialism and regressive manipulation. Private investors in hedge or vulture funds are strongly supporting the bill because they stand to benefit most from the payments. The real unemployment rate in Puerto Rico is already over about 60%, much higher than the manipulated official statistics. Our society is on the edge of collapse. If this bill passes, what little stability remains will be lost. The conditions that led to this economic crisis have existed since 1917 and were created by the Ley de Cabotaje or Jones Act, which enforced a trade monopoly with the U.S. on Puerto Rico. Ever since then, we have not been able to establish our own economy separated from the U.S. because of our colonial status. Instead, we have been forced into ongoing dependency. Repealing the Jones Act and canceling the unjust debt burden is the beginning of a real solution to the economic crisis in Puerto Rico. Bill H.R. 4900 is simply another neoliberal prescription that will fail to help us recover. The medicine is worse than the sickness itself. We call you to show solidarity with us in fighting this attempt to impose a colonial dictatorship, both in clear violation of the Constitution of Puerto Rico. Thank you. And an assault on the civil rights of the Puerto Rican people. The people of Puerto Rico should be prioritized over the debt. Finally, I call you to demand the release of our Puerto Rican brother Oscar Lopez Rivera, unjustly imprisoned by the U.S. for 34 years, 12 of these years in solitary confinement, for fighting for the Puerto Rico's independence. Free Oscar Lopez Rivera now. We want him home. And free Puerto Rico from colonial oppression. We want a free and socialist Puerto Rico, a Puerto Rico for all. Thank you very much.